Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Helps out a lot. Trying to reach 1,000 subscriptions here, and every subscription helps out with that goal. It's time for another battle within the month of July. Some separation between the films, about 3 weeks in time, but still going to be all eyes on these films in particular. So first, we're going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth, which we have spoken on plenty of times before, and we had them in the battle for Superman. And then we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps, which we have done the same for as well. But these two now go head-to-head for July. So let's jump into it. Let's start with a couple statistics. We've talked about a lot of these stats before over time, so we're going to skim through, but we're going to talk about where we are at now. So at the current moment, we have 2 official trailers for Jurassic World Rebirth. There have been a ton of TV spots, featurette footage, and or promotion surrounding this film where they've shown multiple clips of this film already, but we're not counting those as trailers. Now, do I think they're over-promoting this film? Oh, I do. I think they're doing it indeed. And I think all 3 films that are dropping in July, the big films we talked about, Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, and the Fantastic Four First Steps, they're all guilty of this. I'd say at this point in time, talking about today, literally, Fantastic Four has done the least amount of marketing, and they've even done probably too much marketing, in my opinion. So, Jurassic World Rebirth, with those 2 official trailers out, 1 and 2, it has a total of 46.3 million views in total. Now, for Fantastic Four, they have a teaser, and then they have an official trailer. I believe we'll be getting another trailer quite soon in the next 3 weeks, and they have a total of 51 million views. So really, they're closer in proximity when it comes to views on YouTube than Jurassic World Rebirth and Superman, and the same for Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps. So 46.3 million Jurassic World Rebirth and 51 million Fantastic Four First Steps. Let's talk about budget now. Jurassic World Rebirth, a budget reportedly of $265 million. This is in line with the other films that we had in the Jurassic World franchise, so it makes a lot of sense. Fantastic Four, they have not reported this officially, but I believe the budget is between $225 million and $250 million. Now, ladies and gents, this does not cover marketing budget. I believe all 3 of these films that are coming out in July have a marketing budget of at least $100 million. So, $265 for Jurassic World Rebirth and Fantastic Four, $225 million to $250 million. And for the most part, it seems like productions of this scale from big studios, you're going to get a budget of $200 million and up at this point. And the fact that these are huge summer releases tells you everything you need to know about what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to who's shelling out the money for what. Let's discuss Jurassic World Rebirth's window again, release window that is. They have a release window of July 2nd, right? That's going to be 4th of July weekend. So they're going to have about a 5-day haul there. Starts out on a Wednesday, middle of the week, and then you got the whole weekend to make as much money as possible. Although I think this movie will do quite well, 2 things that are affecting it. One, the fact that it comes out in the middle of the week, so that Wednesday showing might not make as much money, neither or the Thursday showing. Plus, you have Superman that releases just 9 days after. I'm expecting Superman to release one more trailer towards the end of June. I know there was some speculation and even people saying that that ticket release trailer was the final trailer, but I just don't believe that. Also, to my point, I've seen in certain areas that I have access to that there was a trailer leaked, supposedly, kind of like the same trailer you had for the ticket trailer, but there was new footage. And so, yeah, that's not the end of Superman promotion. There will be one more piece of footage being released before that film releases, and I think that will be within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So you have those 2 potential roadblocks. Also, on the 4th of July, people will probably be hanging out with their families. Will people go to the theater, watch Jurassic World Rebirth? Sure, but I think that could be an effect as well. And now let's move on over to the Fantastic Four First Steps release window. This film is releasing on July 25th, 2025. This film has the luxury of not having much head-to-head competition when it releases. Comes out 2 weeks after Superman, correct? And about 3 weeks after the Jurassic World Rebirth film releases from Universal Pictures. Nothing really to compete with it 2 weeks after And the Superman hype could be middling by the time it does release at the end of July. Basically, there will be a shift in attention. Everybody saw Superman that needs to see it. Even repeat watchers will watch it multiple times in that 2-week period. When it comes to that third week, it's all about Fantastic Four at that point in time. And so that will be a very important chunk of time for them. Now, the film has to live up to the supposed hype that it has. There's been positive and negative. I think this could be a polarizing film as well. Not as polarizing as Superman, or might not even have the impact, but definitely importance, equal importance, and we've talked about that when we talked about the battle between the Fantastic Four First Steps and Superman. And so to hit some of these estimates that we think this film could hit, which is about $550 to $600 million, I think Marvel would look at that as a success. Just to get people excited for what's to come next with Spider-Man 4 and Doomsday, it's going to have legs, and it's going to have to be a film that people talk about and get others to go watch. So very important there. But when it comes to release window, I'm going to say it's like a draw here, honestly. You have Jurassic World Rebirth that has the 4th of July weekend, big weekend there, but you got Superman right after, 9 days after, and then you got Fantastic Four, which has 2 weeks in between and 2 weeks after, with not too much direct competition, especially in its genre future. Both projects, you ask now. Well, we've talked about Jurassic World Rebirth. I think this is going to be a trilogy. Is Scarlett Johansson going to be Zora Bennett in the lead for this trilogy? Who knows? We will have to see after the release of this film. Like I said, I do believe this is a trilogy. It's typically what we see when it comes to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Now, who will be a player in this trilogy throughout the 3 movies? Don't know. We'll have to see. But that's where they're going with Jurassic World. I want to know, ladies and gents, are you excited for the future of Jurassic World and future Jurassic World films even after this group leaves? Because there's always a hard reboot. This is a hard reboot, and they're trying to get people to buy in to the human element this time, these new characters, to carry on through the franchise. A lot to live up to, seeing as how damn near every Jurassic World film has made $1 billion at the box office. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic there. This is something I've talked about multiple times, and you can go back through the catalog to see my discussions on Jurassic World and the people that are involved in the film. Now, for Fantastic Four, same thing goes. Marvel Studios is weighing heavily on this film. They've bought themselves some time by pushing back Doomsday. We know Spider-Man is set to shoot in July, and then to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything different, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well. But Fantastic Four is what's going to get you invested in Doom, right? We have Galactus in here, an actual comic book lore accurate Galactus for once. We have Shala Ball, the female Silver Surfer, correct? We have a whole new cast of Fantastic Four members in Sue Storm, Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how everything plays out for this film. I've heard a lot of negative. I've heard some positive, mixed overall. But it's going to be a film that I'm excited for. And I don't think it's going to be a film that you're going to see trilogy potential out of. But something to lead you into the next films for the next phase of Marvel Studios. So a lot of pressure on both. Once again, this is somewhat a tie as well. You got to get people to believe in these new characters for Jurassic World Rebirth, and you got to get people to believe in Marvel Studios once again when it seems that superhero fatigue may be setting in more than ever. But I think these are two films that are going to do very well at the box office. I'll be watching Fantastic Four First Steps, Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm still on edge about that. I do think it's going to do well. I really do like Gareth Edwards, and I like Scarlett Johansson. Don't really like her in this role quite much. And I feel like with Jurassic World, I'm seeing the same thing I've seen for the last, 10, 15 years. But I do think the film will do very well. People love dinosaurs, and people love films that are shot well with decent stories and human elements associated. Fantastic Four is a film that I think is going to get people excited just to see what happens next. Curiosity. I'm extremely curious. Same thing for Superman. What are they going to do? How are these cast of characters going to come back? How is this dynamic going to be different than any other dynamic that we've seen on screen for Fantastic Four? I think these are all questions that are going to be answered, and I cannot wait to see. We have some tracking information as well. We're going to add that. I reported earlier that Fantastic Four got a boost in ticket sales, which is good for them. And I also stated that Jurassic World Rebirth and Fantastic Four are tracking about the same. So I wonder what a lot of people think about that. Jurassic World Rebirth is tracking for about $115 million to $135 million domestic. Worldwide, it probably take in $250. The Fantastic Four First Steps was tracking for about $120 million to $135 million, but is now tracking for $155 million. Once again, probably $250 to start for that opening weekend global. So this is very interesting. These two, while they're not dropping on the same week or even, I guess, 2 weeks apart, very similar in the impact that they're going to have when they first hit. Now, which film is going to have more legs? That's a question that's going to have to be answered with time, and I'm excited to see what happens for both. So, ladies and gents, what are your thoughts on this information that I provided about both films? Universal Pictures Jurassic World Rebirth, one of their biggest IPs and one of the more successful IPs, and then Marvel Studios, The Fantastic Four First Steps, a big pillar film that's going to lead into next year's Marvel hype. Definitely going to be something that I want to hear people talk about down in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to watch both of these films, and let me know your thoughts on both of these films. And also, let me know why you feel that way. Definitely want to have some good conversation regarding this debate and battle between these two films that I think are equally important to each other's studios. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Also, share this video with friends, colleagues, and some family members and let them know to subscribe as well. Every subscription is appreciated here. Also, like this video and ring the bell for more updates from me, Neff, on think pieces like this and or battles for future films. I definitely love breaking these down, and there's definitely more to come in the future because we're going to have these battles in cinema. It's great for cinema, it's great for the theaters, it's great for the people that like cinema because it gets people out into the theater and excited to see something that is highly anticipated on both ends. And so, ladies and gents, that was Jurassic World Rebirth versus the Fantastic Four First Steps debate. Be safe, it's Neff signing off.